Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. Today's show is presented by Prize Picks, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be giving a record prediction and going through every single Vikings game this season and seeing what the final record could possibly be for the Minnesota Vikings. But here is the schedule. Week 1 taking on the Packers. You got back-to-back division games, then traveling to Chicago. Buccaneers, Dolphins, Saints, bye week 6. Week 7 versus the Colts and the Lions. Week 8, and then you got the Bills on Monday Night Football, then taking on the Packers, and then the Niners. Rough stretch there for the Vikes, but they followed up with back-to-back home games against the Falcons, Panthers, and then back-to-back primetime games, Thursday Night Football in New England, and then Week 15, Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions, and you got the Commanders, Jets, and Bears to round it out. Now, I do want to welcome in producer Dylan. Dylan, I will be... or at least I will try my best to not be completely hammered off purple Kool-Aid right here and try to predict the Vikings going 17-0. So Dylan will give us some more logical reasoning for his record prediction for the Vikings. But Week 1, I don't care who the Vikings are playing. They could be playing the 85 Bears in this game. I'm going to be taking the Vikings to go 1-0 in this matchup. Now, I do think, real analysis here, Micah Parsons not going to play in this matchup. You're at home, big-time moment, and also Kyler Murray. We don't really know what the Vikings offense is going to look like, so I think it will be a tough scout for the Green Bay Packers. And also, first game, Jordan Love. You're going against Brian Flores and this defense at home with the crowd. I got them going 1-0, but what about Dylan? How are you feeling about this one?
I'm going to be in agreement with you here. I think the fact that they avoid Micah Parsons right away was a blessing for them. And then also, if you look at the Vikings wide receiver room and that Packers secondary, that's a big mismatch. I think that overall, with the Vikings and going into this game, it'll just be whether Kyler can just be right on rhythm right away. And if that's how it works out, I think they start 1-0.
That's true. There could be some learning curves going on in this game, which could lead to a Packers victory. But I like that point about the wide receiver room. I mean, Juwan Jennings, Addison, and Jefferson going against that Packers secondary. KOC might not be running the ball too much that game. He might be throwing it all over the lot. But we kick it to Chicago for Week 2 of the season. I got the Vikings starting off 2-0 here. Now, I think the Bears, they are the media darlings right now. Every kind of big-time NFL analyst, they're probably picking the Bears to win that division. They think they could take another jump. The Vikings played them very good last year. Brian Flores did a great job against Caleb Williams and that offense. He kind of started to figure out Ben Johnson in this one. And I think the home opener, this is going to be a tough place to go and play, but I like that they're getting in Chicago in September. It's going to be warm. And I think this game, it's going to come down to a last-second play here and there. I just think the Vikings will pull it out. So I got them 2-0, but Dylan, he's got the Vikings getting the first loss of the season here.
Yeah, I had to go with the loss here. You'll see with most of these divisional games, I'll have them split. But overall with the Bears, I just think the direction that they're going in right now is very positive. They keep adding more reinforcements to that offense also. And look, Caleb Williams, as much as Vikings fans hate him, he might be the future of the NFL for all we know. So I just think if it comes down to the final minutes, I trust the Bears more than the Vikings.
Yeah, the Bears were doing that all last season. Pulling rabbits out of hats. But I will say also with this game for the Vikings that, scares the crap out of me is a guy like Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, these young rookie or second-year guys early on in the season. They're going to have so much juice there. So I got them winning. Dylan's got them losing this game, so that's going to be a fun one there. But then you travel to Tampa early on in the season. It's going to be hot down there in Tampa Bay in this one. It's probably going to be 90-plus degrees still in September, even though you're late September. This is going to be a tough game. I think the Buccaneers, even though I don't think they will make the playoffs this season, I still think this is a tough matchup for the Vikings. So I'm going to have them losing this game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, following the 2-1 on the season. I think this could be something also with my record prediction, having the Vikings starting off 2-1. Or 2-0. This could be a letdown spot. Week 3, probably a pick 'em in this game. So I got them dropping this game and moving to 2-1. Tampa, sneaky, feisty team to have in September.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to also have them dropping this game. I think Tampa, overall this season is going to be a very interesting team overall. The NFC South overall, as the records kind of show right there, 8-9.
Yeah.
That's their entire division. I just think that's going to be one of those games where Tampa, Baker early on in the season, we saw how red hot he was last year. I just think it's a home game. Minnesota's got to go there. I think that's a loss for them.
I want to give a massive shout out to our good friends at Prize Picks. And if you guys plug in promo code HMA, we'll hook you guys up with $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really easy to use. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, Florida, New York, and of course, Minnesota. And for me, Prize Picks makes watching my favorite sporting events that much more enjoyable as I follow my lineup throughout the entire game or an entire season. That's what we're rocking with for this lineup today. Going to take the more on Jackson Dart passing touchdowns this season, the less on Dak Prescott passing yards, and then Jalen Hurts. Don't think they'll be running the tush push as much this season, so going to take the less on his rushing touchdowns. But fade those picks or tail those picks. Just make sure you guys do so at Prize Picks. Now, they also have a feature that allows you to follow your friends and others on the app like you would on any other social media platform. So you guys can follow me on the app at Pat Sieps to see all my lineups there, but sign up for Prize Picks with promo code HMA and get $50 in lineups instantly when you play your first $5 lineup, which shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. All right, week 4, the Vikes got another Florida team here, but this time at home, the Miami Dolphins traveling to U.S. Bank Stadium. Listen, I mean, if the Vikings, I think they're a good team this year. If you're a good team, you handle business against a team like the Dolphins. Kevin O'Connell taking on Jeff Hafley, so he's familiar with what he likes to do defensively. Malik Willis could give this Brian Flores defense some problems, but I just think the rosters and the coaching staff difference, will just be too much here. So I got the Vikes moving to 3-1 there.
Yeah, I got a win for the Vikings as well here. I think the Dolphins' offense is one of the worst in the NFL. They don't have any receivers really still. Yeah. Like their first wide receiver is Jalen Tolbert or Malik Washington. Yeah. So as long as you can stop Devon Achane, I think the Vikings are in a good spot to win this game.
Yeah, stopping the run. That might be a sneaky key to victory that week. Because Vikings did struggle a little bit stopping the run this past season. But then the Vikes, they travel to New Orleans. Justin Jefferson returning to his hometown on this. And I promise you, Justin Jefferson will probably go for 150 yards in this game. And I think the Saints, they're a cool story. A lot of hype around them heading into the season, but I think the Vikings are a significantly better team. Like if you just stack the rosters up on paper, I think the Vikings handle this one. Tough place to play, going down to New Orleans, but I think Vikings here get the 4-1, building some momentum heading into the rest of the season. Also, the bye week will come up in week 6.
This could definitely be an early trap game for the Vikings. 100%. I think the Saints are a team that people are still trying to figure out what they could be at adding Jordan Tyson right after the draft. I just don't like the Saints' defense still. They lost a lot of pieces, including Alontae Taylor and Demario Davis.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings overall are just the better team, and they should be able to get it done.
I think at the Vikings, if you can split Tampa and New Orleans early on in the season, that would be a win. Like going down there, 2 tough places to play, I think that would be good for the Minnesota Vikings. But then you have your bye week in week 6, and then you follow it up week 7 against the Indianapolis Colts here. Now, the Colts at home, Daniel Jones, revenge game if you want to call it that. Vikes at home, playing an inferior team. I think they handle business here. Go 5-1. So right here, after week 7, we're all feeling good. We're all drinking purple Kool-Aid, but tough stretch of the schedule coming up. I got them moving to 5-1.
Yeah, for me, I have them going and winning this game as well. I just think the Colts offseason, they had one of the worst. They lost a lot of their key elements that made that offense good last year. Once again, I think with a lot of these early games, it's going to come down to stopping the run. The Colts' MO is Jonathan Taylor. If you could take him out of the game, this should be an easy win for the Vikings.
No, especially if you could get Daniel Jones in 3rd and long over and over and over again against Brian Flores. I mean, they should be feeling good. But now the Vikings, they enter a tough stretch of the schedule. So I think right now, I got them 5-1 at this point. We're all feeling great. Then you got a massive game in Detroit taking on the Lions. I got the Vikings dropping this one. I don't think they will sweep Detroit again like they did last year. I think they're still going to be a good team. I mean, the entire NFC North is going to be a gauntlet. It's going to come down to, are you 11-6 or are you 9-8, which was the case this past season in the division. Like, the Bears going 11-6, that was the difference between them winning and losing the division just by 1 game. So, Detroit's still tough. Still have an absolutely loaded roster. I've actually liked what they've done this offseason, so I got them dropping this game, moving to 5-2.
I got them dropping the game as well, going 4-3 at this point of the year. I just think last year you swept Detroit. There's going to be some revenge on their mind going into this game. It's at Detroit. It's in the middle point of the season, so that could actually be to the Vikings' favor.
Yeah.
But I think overall, you're going to Detroit. The Vikings are still in a good position with their record right now, so it's not a must-win per se, so I think the Lions get here.
And kind of like what Dylan was saying, revenge game here. I mean, you didn't just, embarrass them last year on Christmas. I mean, you completely took their soul. You eliminated them from the playoffs. You started Max Brosmer in that game. Brosmer, I think, had 63 yards passing, and you still beat him. So I think the Lions, this is going to be a huge game for them. Dan Campbell have them ready to go. But then the Vikings, they play on Monday night against the Buffalo Bills, Week 9. I just think in these standalone games, primetime stage, it's Josh Allen, indoors, U.S. Bank Stadium. I think the Vikings offense, they're going to have to score 31 in this game to win it, or even not more than that. Brian Flores is great, but also it's Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is better than, obviously, Brian Flores on the defense. I think it's going to be tough for the Vikes here. Got them dropping the 5-3, and the panic starts to set in Minnesota.
Yeah, I got them going down to 4-4 here. Being 500, you're at the middle point of the season, so it's not panic mode necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's really the Bills have Josh Allen. The Vikings have Kyler Murray. Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and he carries that team on his back. It doesn't matter who the Bills' defense is. It doesn't matter who the Bills' weapons are. They have Josh Allen, and that's enough.
Yeah, and I think he'll do a good job of handling Brian Flores and what he likes to do. And also a little revenge game for the Bills, back to that 2022 absolutely insane win the Vikings had. So they're going to be coming in, ready to go. Monday night, big stage. But then the Vikings, again, tough stretch here. You're on the road against the Lions. You got the Bills at home. Then you travel to Green Bay. I think this is a tough and brutal spot for the Minnesota Vikings. So I got them dropping this game as well, moving to 5-4. So again, you start 5-1, you're feeling great. Then I think you drop this game, and then everybody's like, man, what do we do? We can't beat good teams. Panic against sets in Minnesota. But, second half of the year, they should have a lot of winnable games. I got them going to 5-4. Green Bay, Michael should be back here. They're probably trying to get revenge from Week 1 and a loss they had at U.S. Bank Stadium. Tough to go in the Lambeau and win another one.
I also think a big factor here is Kyler being in cold weather.
Absolutely.
It's going to be November. It's going to start getting chilly, and this is going to be a really big test for him. I know earlier in the year we had them getting a win, so I'm going to have them split here, go below 500, but don't worry, Vikings fans. It's going to get better soon.
It's going to get better. Today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. And if you guys are trying to go to a Vikings game this year, use SeatGeek and save 10% off your next set of tickets by using code CHAT10. Whether it's a Vikings home game or a Vikings road game, you can get your tickets on SeatGeek. You guys can even already get your tickets for Packers versus Vikings for Week 1 of the season. U.S. Bank Stadium is going to be jumping, and you can get in the building right now for under $200. And also use code CHAT10. We'll hook you guys up with 10% off tickets on SeatGeek. But the home opener, season opener, first arrival of the Green Bay Packers, definitely try to go to that one if you're a diehard Vikings fan. But it's also not just football games either. It's concert, baseball games, whatever it is. SeatGeek has you covered. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know whether you're getting a good deal. So look for green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And, of course, I have a code for you guys. Use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you guys click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. But a massive, massive thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's edition of Vikings Now. All right, we got the Vikings traveling to Mexico City in Mexico to take on the Niners. It's a big-time game for the Vikes. Again, you're on a 3-game losing streak. Sunday Night Football, this is a massive spot. I just think the Niners are a damn good football team. They went 12-5 last year with losing Warner, losing Bosa. I liked what they've done during free agency, getting a Mike Evans, getting Osa from the Cowboys. I think that defense is going to be good. Shanahan will have the offense going, and again, stopping the run. This is probably one of the best running offenses in the National Football League. Now, maybe McCaffrey ran out of gas at this point, but I just think this is a tough game for the Minnesota Vikings. And now I think the full panic has set in where they're 5-5. But Dylan, you disagree with me. You think the Vikes get a win here?
Yeah, I do. I think Aaron Jones has his sombrero. He's going to be very festive
I didn't even think about
game.
that.
I just think overall with the Vikings, this is actually a revenge game also for Juwan Jennings and Jordan Mason. I think this is going to be a position where they're going to be surprising some people at this stretch of the year.
Yeah, I like that. Also, the Aaron Jones sombrero. Forgot about that, Dylan. Good call right there. But also, like Dylan was saying, Juwan Jennings, Jordan Mason revenge game. So I got the Vikings right now on a 4-game losing streak. They're 5-5. Everybody's panicking. Everybody's yelling at me in the comment section. Everybody's feeling negative. But then you have a get-right game at home. You got the Atlanta Falcons, revenge game for the Vikings, losing to them on Sunday Night Football last year. Got the Vikings winning this one, 6-5. And also, I'm so curious if that's how the Vikings schedule plays out, where they go 5-1, drop 4 in a row, they're 5-5. I would not be shocked if JJ McCarthy, if this is like his first game starting. Like maybe that's a crazy storyline, but then they get JJ at home. But I think they'll win this one, move to 6-5. I just don't think the Falcons are that good.
Yeah, Atlanta still doesn't really have a quarterback right now. You don't know if Penix is going to be back at this time, but it could be Tua here. And Tua against Brian Flores.
Oh, my God. That storyline
That storyline's going to be good. I think he is going to own Tua if he's going and starting there. It doesn't matter if Bijan Robinson's in the backfield. Yeah. I just think Atlanta is going to take a huge drop-off this year.
I think Flores would be doing everything he can to stop the run in that game. Be like, Tua, if we're going to lose this game, Tua, you're throwing for 303. So, like that there as well. Now, back-to-back home games against NFC South, you got to handle them. Listen, if you're a good football team, which I think the Vikings are, I think they move to 7-5 here. You're starting to feel good. Carolina, they're fine. I think they could very well win that division. But, again, like the Vikings this year, you got to go 3-1 versus the NFC South. And if they can go 3-1 versus the NFC South, I would ideally they go 4-0. But 3-1, move to 7-5 here, beat the Panthers at home.
Yeah, the NFC South should be a team that you should be able to beat. Outside Tampa Bay, I think you should be able to go 3-1 against all of them. Carolina outperformed who I think they actually are last year. I mean, they're still going to be a pretty good team overall, but this is a game in Minnesota. I think going into this latter stretch of the year, the Vikings are going to have some of these games where they are the more dominant team, and I think that could be the case here.
Got to be a high sense of urgency, too, because, there's more NFC North games coming down the line. So handling the Panthers at home will be huge. Now this sets up a massive game. Thursday night football short week. You're traveling to New England. You're taking on the AFC champions from this past season. I got the Vikings winning this game. I think this would be something where it's like primetime stage. Vikes are 7-5. Hey, Patriots could be 7-5 as well in this matchup, and I think this is like a game that the Vikings win, or we're talking about it on Friday morning where it's like, all right, this Vikings team's legit. They got they're a real playoff contender this year. I think this will be the Vikings truly first statement win on the road, playing a good team. Kyler Murray, cold weather in December definitely scares me a little bit, but I think this could be something where also, I'm calling it right now, it's going to be a Kevin O'Connell runs the piss out of the football game, where it's like, all right, we got that going. Jefferson has, big game in the receiving game going against Christian Gonzalez, but I got to move him to 8-5 here.
I also have him picking up a win here. I just think another Brian Flores revenge game.
Yep.
He's going to go ahead and get in Drake May's head. And I think the Patriots are another team that kind of overperformed of who they actually are last year. They had a lot of easy opponents. And I think this is going to be kind of a battle-tested type of game where it's going to come down the wire. And I think the Vikings defense is better than the Patriots.
Yeah, and this is when the Vikings really start to get going. You got a 3-game win streak here. You move to 8-5 on the season. And then you got another tough matchup at home. Detroit Lions coming back into your building December 20th. Around Christmas time, and I think the Vikings are going to spoil all those Lions fans' Christmases yet again. This is a tough game no matter what, but I think at home with Brian Flores, I think the Vikings found something last year with Gibbs, not being the best running back in blitz pickup. They were just blitzing the crap out of him, and he got his ass kicked. So I think also Kyler Murray indoors, advantage for the Minnesota Vikings, but again, Lions indoors, definitely tough to play, but I think the Vikings win this one, move to 9-5 on the season.
I got a reverse sweep here for the Vikings, dropping 2 against the Lions. I just think this year it's going to be a bit different. The Lions are retooling. They are thinking this season as we didn't perform our best last year. Yeah. So every single game, especially Minnesota, I bet they've circled on their calendar because they got embarrassed by them last year. And I think they're going to try to reverse that. And
also the Lions, I'm not saying their Super Bowl window's closed after this season, but they view this as one of the last years with that core group of guys before they really have to start paying a lot of their playmakers from that 2023 draft class. So that's going to be a tough game. But then, hey, even if you do lose to Detroit, you got the Commanders at home. My bold prediction for the NFL season is I think the Commanders are going to be the second worst team in the NFC outside of the Arizona Cardinals. I just don't think the Commanders roster is that good. I even think Jaden Daniels could have a good year, and they could still go 6-11. That team that made the NFC Championship game, I think it was fluky. They had a lot of older talent. Most of those guys are gone now. They're trying to reset. I think this is a year for the Commanders where a transition year. Where all right, you start building up a culture again. Then maybe next year they really go all in and try to make a playoff run. But I think the Vikes are a better team. 10-5, 5-game win streak. So the streaky Vikings is what I'm predicting this season.
we still don't know who Jaden Daniels is, and he could be another MVP candidate at this point, or he could have another slump. We don't really know, and because of that, I think you got to go with the Vikings here. I think the Commanders, that they're still a team that people are trying to figure out who they actually are, and until we figure it out, the Vikings are the better team.
And also, we saw Flores did the Jaden Daniels last year. He was 9 of 20. I mean, the processing side of Daniels' game definitely is lacking. Now, maybe you can improve it, but I think the Vikings handle business here. Now, the trap game of all trap games. I got the Vikings rolling into this one. 5-game winning streak. You're 10-5, heading into New York, heading into New Jersey, playing the Jets. You should win this game. But again, I don't know what type of Jets we're going to get at this point in the year. Like, what if the Jets are somehow sneaky and they're, 6-8 or something at this time? I still think the Vikings handle business here. Move to 11-5, and then this is a game where it's like, all right, the Vikings really have it going. They won 6 in a row. You're 11-5. Like, we're feeling great about this football team, peaking at the right time. But, the Jets still think they'll be a little better than last year, but I still think it's the Jets.
Putting the Jets fandom side for a second, I just think overall with the Jets and the direction they're going, they're going to be tanking at this point of the year.
Yeah.
They're going to try to get one of the top quarterbacks in next year's class. And look, if the Vikings are going to have to win this game, because I think where the record stands right now and where the NFC North is going to be, this is a must-win game for the Vikings. You can't go ahead and let the Jets just take one from you.
Especially, like, Dylan's record prediction a little more realistic than mine. Like, if they are 9-6 rolling into this game and you drop this and you move the 9-7, like, that puts so much more pressure, on that Week 18 matchup. So, yeah, this is going to be, even though it's a Jets, you can't sleep on them. Still got to go out there, still NFL players. But then it sets up Week 18 and to Chicago Bears. I think this game will be for the division, and I think it will be for the 2 or 3 seed in the NFC this upcoming year. This is going to be a massive game no matter what. Like, even if I don't think even if the Vikings are like, 9-7 at the time, and this is to get them to 10-7 on the year, this is going to be a big time spot for the Vikes, but I do think they end up sweeping the Bears this season. They should have swept them last year. I just think Flores versus Caleb, late in the year, it's indoors in Minneapolis. Kyler, like, if he's still the quarterback, we should be seeing him, peaking, understanding this offense. So I got them winning this game. Then I got the Vikes going 12-5 on the season and winning the NFC North.
I'm finishing 11-6. I don't know if that's going to be enough to win the division necessarily, but I think they'll still be able to find a way to get into the playoffs. I think this is a playoff team at the end of the day. I love what they did in this offseason. The biggest concern is now what you're really going to get out of Brian Flores and the defense that he's kind of been able to mold with Jonathan Grenard getting traded and with you moving on from the defensive tackles. But then the way they really approached the draft with Caleb Banks and Dominique Orange, like, this is a team that I think built overall is ready to win. And coming down the stretch, it could go either way with the Bears and the Vikings, but I had them split for the second year in a row. So,
and also, like, this game, like, if I could see this being something where it's like, what if the Lions, like, since you got them losing twice to the Lions, like, I see both teams, Lions, Vikings going 11-6. They're top in the NFC North. The Lions just got the tiebreaker for the head-to-head matchup. But it's going to be a fun year, no matter what. Like, anytime playing in the NFC North, it's going to be fun. You get 6 games every year that are just absolutely awesome. But you guys predict the Vikings record for me in 2026. Dylan's got them going 11-6. I got them going 12-5. Hey, 11-6, 12-5 would be absolutely awesome. You guys drop down in the comment section and predict the Vikings record for me. We'll get on out of here. As always, Skull Vikes.